Bruno Mars is the strangest artist of this generation. Not in any bad way, he just exists in this weird space where the love for his music far exceeds the love for Bruno Mars the artist. And he hasn't even done anything wrong. Like real quick, let's do something. How many of y'all can name 3 Bruno Mars albums? Shit, if I'm being honest, I couldn't even name one before I started researching for this video. This dude has had so many hits for damn near 2 decades now. Songs that growing up were inescapable, like you would hear them everywhere. I remember being on the bus to school and hearing Grenade all the way back in 2010. I remember hearing Uptown Funk on the bus in 2014. I also remember back in 2016 hearing 24 Karat Magic in the air everywhere, bro. It was inescapable. And that's just a few. He has so many more songs that you just know. I promise you, you know. Even if you don't know the name, you know a Bruno Mars song. You've heard them before. It's impossible. I don't think I've ever ran into someone who could comfortably say that they've never heard a Bruno Mars song. That is ridiculous. At every point in my life, Bruno Mars has consistently had so many hit songs that if you play them in front of people, they know the lyrics. But if you ask those same people who sang the song, you might get some surprised Pikachu faces. The number of people who could tell you the artist would shrink drastically. Then on the other hand, you hear about the conversations surrounding the top male artists of the 21st century. Bruno Mars is an artist who, despite having the punching power to compete with literally anyone else, and in all honesty be above a lot of them, he doesn't receive nearly the same amount of love that a lot of the other big artists do. Today, in this video, I want to figure out why it is that Bruno Mars is the MJ of our generation, the MJ of our era, and no one seems to care. I got the name of this video from a comment on my TikTok, and I just want to shout this person out. Thank you so much to them, because they made me actually want to look deeper into this, because it made me question it even more. Hi, I'm Jeffrey. Welcome back to Just Jeffrey. On this channel, we do whatever we want and we have a lot of fun doing it. It's in the name, we just do whatever we want. I don't know why I wrote that. I did not spell that right. I hope you join me on this journey by subscribing, and you know, don't forget to leave a like. Thank y'all so much for 1K. I can't wait to keep cooking for y'all. Peter Hernandez, better known as Bruno Mars, has been dominating the charts, streaming, YouTube since pretty much I gained consciousness. And yeah, it feels like despite the ever-presence in my life and the music that I heard growing up, I never really knew too much about him. Bruno is a diverse ass mixture of different races, from Puerto Rican to Filipino to Jewish to Spanish. Honestly, growing up, I genuinely thought he was black. For the longest time, I genuinely thought Bruno Mars was a black man. It wasn't until arguing with my friend Kyle about this in like the 7th grade that I actually learned that no, that man is not black whatsoever, and that he was actually Filipino. And not gonna lie, looking at it now, I genuinely don't know what I was seeing that led me to believing he was black, bruh. But I digress. Billboard dropped their top artists of the 21st century about a year ago, and I wanted to go through it real quick with y'all. Bruno Mars is behind a lot of the names that when you actually look at the stats, he really should be ahead of, if I'm being so honest. At 10, we have Usher. At 9, we have Bruno Mars. Number 8 is Justin Bieber. Number 7 is Beyonce. Number 6 is The Weeknd. Number 5 is Eminem. Number 4 is Post Malone. Number 3 is Rihanna. Number 2 is Drake. And number 1 is Taylor Swift. I'm only going to be talking about the male artists because I can't lie, the female artist and the male artist is a completely different lane. If I'm being honest, the 3 women that are named before Bruno Mars are easily bigger than him. I'm not even gonna argue that, bro. It's not close. I can't lie. But with that being said, let's get into it. Before we start with any other artists, we have to start with the baseline, which is Bruno Mars himself. I'm gonna be showing y'all Bruno Mars' Spotify and his YouTube numbers. Like I said, they're absurd, bro. On Spotify, his most streamed song is Die With A Smile at 3.5 billion streams. Jesus Christ, bro. Bruno Mars has 5 different songs that are above 3 million streams. And he has 19 songs with at least 1 billion streams. Just absurd numbers, I can't lie. On YouTube, his most viewed song is Uptown Funk at 5.7 billion. Jesus, bro. 5.7 billion is absurd. He has 8 other songs that are above 1 billion plays. So as you can see on both YouTube and Spotify, it's just absolute chart dominance, bro. He's up there, I can't lie. So next we're going to be comparing him to Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber's highest streamed song is Stay. It has 3.8 billion streams. He actually has 20 songs that are above 1 billion, so he has one more than Bruno. On YouTube, his highest viewed song is Sorry, not surprising, followed by Baby. I'm actually a little surprised that it's less than Baby. If y'all don't know, Baby used to be the song on YouTube with the most dislikes, and then it became, I think it was like the 2017 YouTube Rewind, whichever one led to them erasing dislikes. One of their YouTube Rewinds was so bad that it ended up making them erase dislikes and stop doing YouTube Rewinds. I don't remember which one that was, but yeah, if y'all remember YouTube Rewind, let me know in the comments below. But as you can see, Justin Bieber has 12 different tracks that are above 1 billion views. You can definitely argue that Justin Bieber is above him, and I won't be mad at it, honestly. I just think in terms of that like pop star flair, Bruno Mars is trying more to be a pop star than Justin Bieber had in the past. I can't lie. Like Justin Bieber was so much pushed into that, and then he grew up out of it. So with that being said, we can move on to the next one. I'm gonna skip over The Weeknd and get to Eminem. As you can see, Eminem's most streamed song is Without Me. It has 3 billion streams. He has 14 tracks that are over 1 billion streams. And on YouTube, Love the Way You Lie is his most viewed song with about 3 billion. Pretty consistent, man. I can't lie. He has 9 different tracks that are above 1 billion on YouTube. And with that being said, I can't lie, he gets washed by Bruno in terms of numbers. Just to compare them again, I'll throw them up on screen for y'all. So yeah, I think Bruno takes that one. Next, we have Post Malone. Post Malone's biggest track is Sunflower. We all know that. 4.1 billion streams. Crazy, I can't lie. Probably one of the biggest we're gonna see here. Bro, you cannot go anywhere without hearing this song. Needless to say, I get her chat. It was up bad, nevertheless. Once Spider-Verse dropped, bro, it was over. Ooh, some niggas can refuse. Wanna ride me like a bruise, and I'm not trying to lose. Telling y'all, bro, I'm finna be the next thing in music. He has 15 songs that are above 1 billion streams on Spotify. His biggest song on YouTube is also Sunflower with 2.9 billion views. And he has 5 different songs that are above 1 billion. So again, he gets absolutely cleared by Bruno Mars in terms of numbers. Next off, we got Drake. Drake's biggest song is One Dance. It has 4.1 billion streams on Spotify. Absurd number. Not surprising though. That song was everywhere growing up. Can't lie, you don't hear it as much now, but that song is still crazy. I need a one dance, got in see in my eyes. Drake's numbers are absurd. 26 different songs above 1 billion streams. But his YouTube is where mans aren't fucking with Drake, I guess. Drake only has 4 songs above 1 billion. The biggest of those being Hotline Bling at 2.1 billion views. You know Drake is Spotify's darling, so can't lie, these numbers high-key make sense. I didn't know his YouTube numbers were this low though. I'm low-key shocked. Last up, we had The Weeknd. Had to save him for last because his numbers are just absurd if I'm being honest. Weeknd's biggest song on Spotify is Blinding Lights at 5.3 billion streams. Just absurd numbers. I can't even lie. That's insane. His second is Starboy at 4.4 billion. Like, yo, his numbers are just insane. He has 31 different tracks that are above 1 billion streams. And I can't lie, I couldn't even screenshot all of it in one. I had to screenshot it in 2 different parts. On YouTube, his numbers low-key fall off though. His biggest song on YouTube is Starboy with 2.7 billion views. And he has 7 songs that are above 1 billion views. I know what a lot of y'all might be saying. If you want to argue The Weeknd over, that's completely fine with me. I completely understand. But there's one thing I wanted to point out about Bruno Mars compared to all the other artists I just named, and that's how many songs he's actually released. Compared to everyone else, Bruno Mars only has 120 tracks released. The lowest after that is Post Malone, and you already saw how he was doing up Post Malone. Other than that, everyone else has like at least 200 tracks released. Drake has a whole 514. Jesus Christ, I didn't even know he had that many, bro. The Weeknd has 319. So as you can see, Bruno Mars has always been one to prioritize dropping quality. The fact that he has 19 out of 120 songs that are above 1 billion is just absurd numbers. For all the artists I've named, I'm gonna put the total number of songs they released, and then over that I'm gonna put the number of songs above 1 billion, just to give you an image of how far in the head Bruno is with this quality shit. That's the weird thing about Bruno Mars. He has the stats of one of the biggest stars, the voice, the talent, everything to back it up. When it comes down to it, there's just something missing. The recognition he gets just does not match what it realistically should. But I think I've come to understand what it is that Bruno Mars is missing. Bruno Mars doesn't have a fan base, and I know that sounds crazy for someone of his stature, for someone as famous as him to say he doesn't have a fan base. That's absurd. But just bear with me, y'all. That isn't to say that Bruno Mars doesn't have people who love his music or are fans of him and his work. But one thing that he doesn't have that even YouTubers and streamers have is a What's up? He does, but the one thing that he doesn't have that even YouTubers and streamers have is a community. Let's take Drake for an example. When you look at Drake and Drake fans in particular, they ride behind the OVO name. With The Weeknd, it's XO. With J. Cole, it's Dreamville. With a streamer like Kai Cenat, it's The Mafia. And Your Rage, it's YRG. All these people have communities of people who rock with them in what they do, which in turn elevates their recognition for their craft. And it's because they're simply taking the time to try and connect with their fans and share more about themselves with their fans. Simply put, Bruno Mars doesn't really take the time to connect with the people who listen to his music. He doesn't go above and beyond to appear on interviews. He's not on the news. He just drops music and dips. That's all he does. Like, real talk, how many of y'all even knew Bruno Mars' real name was Peter? Again, I have no clue until I started researching this video. Drake fans know that man's first name is Aubrey. Your Rage fans know that man's first name is Joshua. Niggas ain't on a first name basis with Bruno Mars. Ain't nobody knew that man's first name. But with that being said, I think Bruno Mars teaches a lesson about fame. You can have all the success in the world. You can drop hits on hits on hits on hits for decades and have some of the most recognizable art out there. But if you don't connect with the people who make your shit pop, the recognition that you get will only be a shell of what it really could and should be. But at the same time, I also think Bruno Mars is a person who's extremely at peace. He's probably one of the happiest celebrities out there, being able to drop when he wants, what he wants, and then being able to dip off to God knows where doing God knows what. Well, unless that rumor about the MGM casino is true, then he's probably spending most of his time performing there, paying off his gambling debt. I don't know if that's fact, so I'm not going to talk too much about that. I'm just going to include a clip about it real quick.
I had told the story about Bruno Mars like 2 years ago and nobody like said nothing about it, and then all of a sudden now it's viral. Yes, it happened. Like, MGM just made a statement that it's not true. It happened. I was present during the circumstances. He lost 53 million or 52 million, and then he had to sign a deal to them. He goes, I can't pay you guys. They go, we got to figure it out. So what he did was he signed a deal where he would do all their shows for them so they can get their money back.
Outside of that, he's probably very happy. The truth is, Bruno Mars is an interesting artist. One who never has to drop any music again, and his name will be forever stamped in the Hall of Fame. But on the other hand, he's also an artist who will never get the same recognition of the people that are on the same level as him, and those people that are below him. And I do think that is kind of sad. Bruno Mars teaches the importance of community. And with that, I've been trying to grow my own community. And I thought, what better way than to create a Discord for all of us? A Discord that lets y'all know when a video drops, where everyone can talk, play games, share your favorite moments from a vid, talk about other things, just talk about anything, bro. It's a community of people, like-minded, don't have to be like-minded, different, anyone. Like, if you fuck with anime or watching any that you really fuck with, that you're trying to let people know about, yo, you can talk to me about it. You can let other people inside there know. Just somewhere for all of us to connect and grow for real. That being said though, thank y'all so much for watching this video. And again, thank you so much for 1K. I really love making videos of all kinds. And the second I think of them or have people give me ideas to write in scripts for videos like this and recording them, to editing them and trying new things to improve the process. I love making videos. I love creating. And I love sharing them with y'all who support me and y'all who don't. We like family over here. And I can't wait to keep cooking with y'all. Join the Discord. We're gonna be creating some future videos on there too. Stay tuned. Have a blessed day. And don't you forget to like and subscribe if you watched this far. That's crazy. Alright, peace y'all.